It's more than just the gossip, it's the issues that matter most to you. A closer look at current events, just the tip, special guests, and more. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe, Arizona's longest running drag live stream. Hosted by Felicia Fefe Minor and Freddy Prinze Charming. Streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fefe provided by Wigs of a Kind, The Burly Barber, Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe.
Hello, hello, hello. Well, welcome to episode 11 of Let's Have a Fefe. I am not joined by anybody tonight because I, for whatever reason, did not make sure that Freddy could be here or that anybody could be here as far as that goes. So it's just me, and I am Felicia Fefe Minor, and I am going to do my best to go about our Wednesday night conversation, but don't be afraid to like, subscribe, and share, and comment away as I do this by myself. So, like I said, it'll just be a train wreck and there'll be one for the books. There's always one at least during a season that I book one by myself or forget to get a co-host. But anyhow, it doesn't look like there's a lot of people on. But anyhow, you'll probably watch later. This is your Wednesday night conversation. Welcome to Let's Have a Fefe. I'm Felicia Fefe Minor. And no longer is he Mr. MI Classic, but he will forever be Mr. MI Classic 2019. Hi, Shannon. And Freddie is probably still on the road or at home enjoying himself or relaxing after stepping down finally after 3 years. We'll talk about that a little bit and then more next week because Freddie, I did not get to go with Freddie, but it looked like everything worked out pretty well. I heard great things. But let's do some housekeeping, shall we? We'd like to thank our 18 patrons on our Patreon: Allison, Brandon, Cassandra, Drake Jensen, Casey Starr, Carrie and Corey, Kim, Joan, Jody, Leanne, Nicole, Patricia Mason, Sassy C. Diaz, Shannon, Shelley, and Sky. And as always, we like to especially thank our friends and supporters, Patricia Mason, Sky, Drake Jensen, for taking the deeper plunge. Yes, you know we love it deeper. So special thanks to Joan of Babish, Jewelry and Wood Art. She has some pieces going up all the time. I always want to just snatch them up. Guido Martin and Jeremy Bright of Ripple Phoenix. You, yes, you can donate to us. You know how? Yes, you know how. By sponsoring us at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. You can also join our Patreon at patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe. Yes, yes, yes. You can also text 602-730-7379. The last couple times I have not done it. I need to get back into the habit of doing all of this. But thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. the weekend, just go ahead and type in the comments what your weekend was like. I'll read it off. Or if anybody wants to join me, I'll send you a link, and you can join me as a guest. I don't care, at least for tonight. Um, and then um, let's talk about the weekend. I think the weekend was pretty good. It was the first weekend that I had been home in a long time, um, without having to go on a tour or too many shows in one weekend. Um, Whereas I just had one show this weekend, but the week before, I had to work, and Freddie was on the road, so we did not have a show before. Um, and then what was the week before? When was the last time we were here? According to this, it looks like we weren't here. We haven't been here since March. So it's been just a little running around, a little chaos. You know how we like our world, just a little bit chaotic. Um, but other than that, I have just been spending time with family. But Saturday, I performed at Opulence. Um, at Stacy's, and that was fun. Um, I'll get into some things here in a minute, but the week before that, I believe we finished off the Arizona Pride Tour, sponsored by Drag Confidential, and so that was fun. It was a small but mighty crowd in Nogales. They tried to get me to go across the border, and I was not having it because I was afraid that I would be one of those people that would be in drag and then not get back on the other side. I don't know. I just had never done it before. And so, and I don't have a passport yet. Let's just say that. And I did not trust to do that at all. At all, because I was like, no, 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 no. But I did enjoy myself in New Gallus. I met some new friends, and hope to see them again. Uh, and then on Saturday, I performed at Opulence, and Mia was the guest host. Um, it was wonderful, full house, bridal party and everything. Loved all y'all friends that came out, um, and it was beautiful, beautiful. One thing that I'm gonna segue into the tip. One thing that I personally do not like at all is that I don't like when people touch me without me consenting, especially if I have hair on and they put their hand in my hair, or just randomly touching me when I know that I haven't given consent. And so on Saturday, somebody decided, on Saturday, not Sunday, on Saturday, someone decided that they would be helpful and touch my hair. But for me, it didn't. I needed I needed consent from that person to even touch my hair. Um, and it's gotten like worse recently. And so like I mean, we're pandemic things, yeah, don't touch me. But I told that person not to touch me, and they continued to touch me. Um and that lit a fuse a little bit. All I can say is that, y'all, hi Francis, hi Cassandra, uh that consent for me, especially when I am in drag, is very important, because don't assume that because I'm this way that I want you to touch me. Um, and the person was trying to help. I had the big hair on, but they were saying that they were trying to help me and fix my hair. Um, Other ways to help are, girl, you should fix that. Let me know that it needs to be fixed, and I'll take care of it. Um, or if I say, go ahead, fix it, then proceed. Um, what made it worse is that the person did like the I'm touching you. Yeah, didn't really jive with me because I was already uncomfortable. Um, I don't want people touching me for yeah, with no consent. That just has to be. Um, Also, when you tip entertainers, um, yes, lovely that you want to put it down my shirt, but just make sure that I know that you're doing it. Um, it it would have been just consent, and it set me into like a firestorm. Also, um, this person, um, when you are with an entertainer or watching an entertainer, make sure that you, when they're performing and you're in maybe a crowded space, if they're walking in or out of a place, that you make space for them. Walking by them or them walking by you doesn't give you consent to feel up, so to speak, on them. Um, it's okay to be lovey dovey or flirty flirty, but uh, for me, you got to be, you don't just, again, here we are, consent. Um, Tipping is lovely, especially if you want control of the dance floor, which I don't recommend in some places because sometimes they will um, find that as disrespect. A lot of entertainers do. So on Saturday, um, I I guess I invited someone up, but I did not consent for them to be on the stage. Just I just invited them up because I had gone to the patio. But entertainer or not, they had danced on the stage while it was my time on the stage. Though I was away from the stage, it's very complicated, but it really shouldn't be. And took it upon themselves to perform, even though they weren't in drag or that I felt it wasn't, it really wasn't their time. Um, and I hadn't invited them up there. I just wanted them out of the way. Um, but uh, you should tip your entertainers. You should not stand in the way or when they're walking by you, fill them up. Um, it just leads to a bad experience, a horrible experience, which it hi Marissa. It did not seem like a good experience to me. And y'all, I try not to be the troublemaker, and it full on felt like I was being the troublemaker when I really had not intended for that to be the case at all. Um, the thing that it just set those around me on fire, and the thing is respect, consent, and make sure you have permission um, from your entertainers and your coworkers, because it just it don't feel right. It don't settle right. It don't it um you know. But so we move on to the next gig, and we do what we can, the best way we know how. But I just say, if you come to the show, um, come with tips if so you please. But I was definitely not feeling it at all when that happened. So I definitely try to be more positive. I try to be on the up and the up, but however you see fit, I'm moving on with my life, and I'm ready to stroll on, right? So anything to add to that? Nobody? Anybody? I know there's a lag, and I usually go back and forth with Freddie, and we usually, you know, go on and on and on. But it's just me. Let's talk about some things in the news. We have just a tip that we, from one of the episodes that we were supposed to do. I think it was from last week, but Um, I think that that was my form of the tip is consent, consent, consent. Make sure you have permission. Make sure you're respectful to those around you, especially in public places. Um, just because we're dressed up doesn't give you the right to touch. So, anyhow, not to be a Debbie Downer. Um, I don't think that we did any of this news because I was reading it earlier and I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? And so I would like to go into the current events. It's moving along just quite quickly, and I'll keep an eye on the comments. So you all, if you have news to share, I'll try to click it in the comments. I don't know, I've never done that before. If you send me news, like news stories that I should be reading or should be talking about, or you want to talk about, because it is your Wednesday night conversation, you let me know and send it on in. If you want to be a guest, um, I guess send me a message on Facebook or wherever you might be. Mostly you're on Facebook, but if you want, you can send me a message on Facebook, and I'll let you join in for the news part. What do you say? All right. Let's see. California governor blocked patrol for Mason family. Manson family? Manson. Sorry, not Mason family. Manson family. Member Leslie Van Houten. It was the fifth time of her parole uh, was it was the fifth time her parole was rejected by a California governor. She's 72 and has spent 50 years in prison. She was 19 when she and other cult members, if you have not watched the documentaries about the Manson, I almost want to say the Manson murders, but yeah, that is totally freaky. Her and other cult members killed a LA grocer, his wife, and smeared their blood on the walls. So it's just one of those things, like the Ted Bundy. Ooh, it it just gives you chills because you can't believe that an actual human being took it upon themselves to do that. Like, whoa! Like, I can't believe it. So, if she doesn't get out, are we shedding tears or what's going on? Does her family want her out? I'm not understanding it, but it's always those same people that want to be let out. Hi, Victoria. I have not seen you in a while. Philly, Philly. I don't think she'll get out. You don't think she'll get out? I don't either. Um, Especially if that's the way she had lived life. Okay, so uh this is a weird one. Uh Apparently Doug Ducey, or Ducey as we call him here, is okay with dentists giving their patients Botox. Um Ducey signed a bill that lets dentists administer Botox. So next time you go to get your teeth cleaned, maybe you can get a little filler. Maybe you can get those lines, you know. even, yeah, just mouth numb, face numb, the whole works. It sounds lovely. I can't wait. Maybe I'll go to the orthodontist and get some Botox. Do they count? Do they count? Um, because that sounds lovely. I don't. kn- I- I'm gonna have to look into that because maybe they're using it as like a numbing agent. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds a little bit scary, if you ask me. Or maybe it freezes because like Botox freezes muscle. Maybe it freezes something in your mouth. I don't know. I don't know. That's a little scary. A little scary. I mean, some people barely trust the dentist. So why? Um, Victoria says, I wonder if it's cheaper to get done by the dentist. Maybe they offer a discounted rate. So, like, if you go to, like, the med spa usually to get those things done, maybe there's a discount. Like, maybe you get a teeth cleaning and then you get your Botox. You know how they offer, like, the free whitening? Instead of the free whitening of your teeth, you get the Botox. You just Botox. Your teeth are numb, your face is numb, just the works. I can't wait. Um, if one of y'all get that done, you have to let me know what your experience is like. Um, I'm asking for a friend. That friend is me. You're right. Yes. Just toss it on the anesthesia bill. Uh, have you, y'all, if you've ever looked at the anesthesia bill, you don't even know what it's for, and you just like, "Ugh, girl, I could have got drunk for cheaper than this, and I would have been knocked out just fine. Just fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see what else is on here. Oh, I've read about this. Bruce Willis is diagnosed with I can't say it. Freddie usually says the words. I can't say. Let's see. Um, aphasia. I just know that Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting because this condition causes you to lose the ability to understand and express speech. So there's nothing that it's almost like he goes mute. Um, so it it's it's very difficult. And his family is showing support for him. And, you know, I wish him all the best. And if there's, I don't know, what do you do to support someone that's basically going to go silent? That's the crazy part for me. Um, what would I do if I went silent? Just Also, does it stop his facial expressions? Because, like, when I'm silent, facial expressions are everything. Um, Especially like in crowded settings, if I can look at somebody and go, you know, you have that one friend that you look across the room. Yes, yes. Um, Sky, I'll get there here in a minute. Cause first and foremost, Florida, Florida, Florida. A Florida man pled guilty to a felony charge related to his terrorist actions on January 6th. Yes, and we're still continuing to call them terrorist. Um, the insurrection on January 6th has a lot of people, up in arms. But we've talked about this on the show. If it had been a person of color or a group of people of color or a Black Lives Matter movement, this would have been just squashed and people would have been dead. I'm just saying that they are taking their sweet time with this. Sweet, sweet, sweet time with this. Um, all the people involved in January 6th, they could track that down easily and they should just be checked off the list, sentence time right away. Let's see. With that, there's an 8-hour gap in official records of Trump's phone calls communication on January 6th. I also read something about them finding text messages from Donald Trump's son and things saying that that they control the group or whatever. I don't know if you all saw that, but was. They hoping everyone forgets like Rittenhouse. They won't. I'm surprised nobody has sued the government yet. Or is that in the works? Is that in the works? I wonder if that one police officer, the one that stopped them from going up and going into chambers, I wonder if he's getting anything, if they're, you know, can I get an extra dollar per hour? Or if he's, if they're compensating him in some kind of way. It's a bit sketchy that Donald Trump doesn't have these communications during that incident during January 6th. We also found out that he took classified documents to Mar-a-Lago, and this is just becoming more like he got away with it. But I also think one day somebody's just going to come through and say, you know what, we can't have this. We're just going to put you on trial and let us decide. Um, so go ahead and call me for that jury duty because I will be up for it. Um, but yeah, that was just crazy biz. Let's see. Sky put on the chat that Charlie Disney heir to Disney came out as trans, which is really ironic because Disney is and still supports a lot of those that were sponsoring the anti-trans bill in Florida, and it's almost like a gotcha moment. Like, come on, get your life together. We need to be united. But um, I almost wonder, are they gonna come out? Not not the Disney Air, but the company. Are they gonna come out and fix this? And not, I don't mean donating money to an organization or jumping on the bandwagon of HRC, which I saw in my inbox a couple weeks ago. That don't work for me. I don't think that that's the right way to fix this. But huge apologies and putting LGBTQ rights first sounds like more of something that you should be doing in the first place, and that you should publicly do from now on. And I may be wrong, and I may be just sitting here on the sidelines, but that's definitely, especially since we have like gay days at Disney and other hugely community driven events at Disney. and a lot of our community is Disney fandom. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just so much. Um, Also, in the news, they caught the the person that was that shot uh 33 rounds uh and set off smoke grenades in the subway in New York. 10 people were shot, I believe. I don't think that I don't I didn't read about anybody dying, but prayers with those families. And if we still don't think that gun violence is a thing in this country, we just keep reporting on these different things and saying, oh, we don't really have a problem. It's fine. It's really fine. Really fine. It's okay. Guns don't hurt people. People hurt people. Ugh. Ugh. Anyhow, so that's another thing. While we were away, Doug Ducey signed the anti-trans bill as well as the anti-abortion bill. Um, Abortion will be illegal after 15 weeks. So, pretty soon. I also read about, I'm skipping around here, but I read about, uh, was it Texas that had the anti abortion law as well? Um, I read that the first woman got arrested because she had an abortion. I'll repeat that. The first woman was arrested in Texas. Um, I- should I should double check just to be sure. Texas woman arrested for abortion. But I thought I read that somewhere and I thought, oh my God, it's only just begun. And yeah, a Texas woman was charged with murder. Oh, so it says, it looks like the New York Times reports that the murder charge was dismissed against the Texas woman who had self induced um, her abortion. So the fact that she was arrested and has no rights to her body is the part that just still continues to baffle me, and why women have to have permission to either, you know what I'm saying, like to do what they feel with the body, their body, and but I could be wrong. 15 weeks is 4 months. Okay. Wait. Reading. Oh, so back on the uh, shooter, Victoria says he rented an apartment for 2 weeks about 10 minutes from where I live. Victoria, that is a frightening thought. Very frightening. Um, Especially like, ooh, that's so scary. 15 weeks is 4 months. Yes. So, you, um, okay, Shannon, what's this? For the abortion, the woman with the self-induced abortion. Shannon says, I believe she was a miscarriage, and the hospital staff assumed it was a self-induced abortion. Still, she got arrested. That's the part I don't get. Ooh, this is going to be very trying here in the coming years, but Victoria says, I don't agree with men making rules for women, but I don't agree with women wanting an abortion at or after 4 months. Okay. Okay. Um, what, like, we don't have any laws over men's bodies. This is the part where I care about the life of a child, but I also know that there are not just women having babies, there are men having babies, and also that it's cis white men, older white men, making these laws, and what are they afraid of? Um, they're about to turn into dust anyhow. But um, I don't know. The whole thing is very disturbing from get go. Sky says I couldn't imagine losing my baby when I wanted it, then being arrested for trying to kill them. Yes. So if you have a miscarriage and somebody assumes that you tried to self-induce abortion, uh, do a self-induced abortion, they can have you arrested. If but like if you have a miscarriage, they're medical professionals. They should know, right? Am I safe to assume? I know the answer to that. I'm not safe to assume anything at all. Okay. And then, so carrying on with the governor here in Arizona, the governor uh, says that no gender confirming surgery for minors, though this doesn't really happen anyway. And usually, if anything like that is going to happen, they wait until they're older, make sure that they're comfortable, because that would just be, I can't imagine. Um, Maybe the medical professionals are trying to CYA, calling the police ahead of time before anybody else finds out. Oop, bye. But back to trans the anti-trans bill. Um, Minors can't get gender confirming surgery, or it is very rare. So, um, but I believe it's like after they're an adult, and it's. But also in the same breath, he is also saying trans women can't play on female sports teams. So I thought about this a little bit over the weekend. I thought, it would be wonderful if trans women just create their own leagues. But you really shouldn't have to, because trans women are women. But this is something that often is done, is that when one group is exiled or denied, it usually creates, the group to go elsewhere and fulfill, like they have the dream of playing sports. Um, I do not, but they have the dream of playing the sport, and that brings them joy, and is their uh, bit of an outlet, and sometimes they want to have careers in that. Also, we have talked about this on the show over and over, that um, it, it's not the other way around at all. Like, I don't see any argument about um, trans men competing against men. Ugh, you know what I'm saying? Like, there is no argument there. But we've talked about that on the show before and how misogyny runs rampant. For further reference, go back. I think the last episode we talked about that. And let's see. The governor also says girls should play with girls and boys should play with boys. Yes. But then again, we, clarify this many times on here. Trans men are men, trans girls are girls. So, misogyny. Both Oklahoma and Arizona are hoping the Supreme Court will overturn Roe versus Wade, or Roe v. Wade, as some people call it. What do you think? Oh, messages are coming in and I didn't see them. As far as the hospital goes, if they report all of them, Sky says, and flood the system, maybe it'll lead to a rewrite. I don't think so, because I think that they'll use that as ammunition to fuel their fire. So I don't know. I just wish we didn't have to have laws like this at all. Yeah, they cover days. Let's see. The National Institute of Health did a study showing 1 year doesn't affect the body as much as we previously thought. But there wasn't further studies done on the effect of hormones over a long period of time. I do know that hormone blockers have been studied, but not longer than a year. And that's the weird thing, is like they're not even pandemic things. Science has not even had a chance to like dive into things. That's the weird part, is that science hasn't been able to dive into things and prove or disprove or say this or that about anything. And so but we still want to put people in these hardcore "you're not accepted" boxes. So for whatever reason, that is the goal of the government, to distract you from things like interest rates going up, taxes becoming more unbelievable as you do them, um, and no cap on rent in some areas, and a higher homeless rate as the rents go up. Just things that are happening. This is why we say it's important to vote citywide, statewide, and nationwide, register to vote, and not just be all about just the president. So for me, it starts with those people that are on your city council, because sometimes the city council will present things that are just city-ish, and then they kind of just start to work their way up into the state government, and so and then national government. And so, and a lot of these states are like very copycat, which is very annoying. Oh, I see that you've done that law. Let's go ahead and do that law here. Have a seat. Have a seat. Yes, the local government is getting away with way too much, getting away with murder. Still waiting for the Parkland kids. I think the Parkland kid. Something is gonna happen. I think the Parkland kids and the Sandy Hooks student population from when that happened will develop into change makers. Um, it's crazy what is actually going on. So, um, anything else in the news that you find fitting? Um, I feel like I did not check COVID numbers, but I feel like things are starting to waver out. At least I feel that way. I'm starting to see less of those. What are they called? Like the covers in front of like um, the person, the cashier. I'm starting to see even at some um, locations throughout my work. If you deal with the public, sometimes there'll be stands, and some people have taken those down. Um, I don't work with the general facing public that way, but um, I definitely still kind of keep my distance, um, wash my hands often, um, but stay healthy, stay safe. If you feel like you're under the weather, stay home. I think that should have been a thing before we went into the pandemic, but even more so, stay home. Um, I believe that they're trying to figure out if they want to still offer the at-home test for free. I believe that was up for discussion here pretty soon. But I definitely hope that you all stay safe and stay healthy because, you know, I want you here a lot longer. And I want to stay healthy so I can stay here a lot longer. Um, that is all for the news for me. Uh, I have talked for nearly an hour and y'all have stayed on here. That's crazy. Usually, when I do this, I putts around and I do not talk that much. I have like this awkward silence that goes on, and I do horrible. I didn't think I did that bad this time. If I did, I'm sorry. Come back next week. Freddie will be here. I'm so sorry. Um, and I'm gonna start trying to book guests if I can find the time. Uh, to sit down for a moment, get that started. Um, Sky, thank you so much. But in years past, when I have done these by myself, I have been a total train wreck, and it was awful. One year, I think I did it. I did like a makeup thing, like I got ready as um like on the show because I didn't know what to do with myself. So I just got ready on the show, and I think it was a Q&A. Um, but people seem to enjoy themselves watching me get ready. Hey, are you are you gonna get on now? Weird. Your shower is heating up. Did you text the wrong person? I'm sorry. New phone. Who's this? Um, Nothing wrong with the train wreck. There is, because I don't like watching myself back. You just got home. I figured when you were on live earlier and you said 3 hours and it was like 5:30. I was thinking, ooh, that's a long time to be waiting for you. But I think I did pretty well. I just went with what you had on here from the last show and added my 2 cents and added some news that I have found already. And so it was pretty good, I think. And everybody has been so interactive, so engaging tonight. Yes. It wasn't bad. Watch it back. Goodness gracious. Usually it is a train wreck though. Usually. I did talk about consent as an entertainer. We can talk about it. But since your shower has hot water, that's good for you. Good, good. Let's see. Oh, I feel like I'm talking to you through the chat. You could just log on real quick. Um, thank you. Freddy doesn't believe y'all for some reason. So, considering my track record, that's possible. So, upcoming gigs. Um, Freddie and I. It looks like we're spending the weekend together. It's horrible. I'm just kidding. So on Friday, the 15th, we will be doing drag bingo and cats at La Guitarra in Phoenix, and that starts at 7. I believe there's a few more spots available, but again, don't message me if you try on Friday to get tickets and there are none, because that means there aren't any. When it says like, oh, the next date available is May, that usually means that April is gone. That's what that means. April is gone. Just lost. It's that the spots is full. I'm so sorry. And there's really nothing we can do. But we'll see you in May if you can't make it in April. But for now, you can. Oh, wait a minute. Um, your laptop isn't set up and you have no clothes on. Mm. Watching the Fefe naked, as suggested. But also, we have a Patreon. So if you wanted to watch that, if if you wanted to give us bonus footage, we definitely could do that. That would be hilarious if you like did a stay tuned to our Patreon. Um, if we did an extra naked episode, maybe. Not sure why it decided to. Oh, did it decide that you were the show now? I don't know. Who decides that? Who does that? I was serious. Uh, we need to. We're gonna work on getting some content onto Patreon, but both our lives has just been so hectic lately. After the 15th, we have the 16th. On Saturday, we have just the tip sex trivia night at Gracie's Tax Bar in Phoenix. Um, that's gonna be fun too. We play. Okay, good to see you, but not see you. Thank God. Um, but yes. Let's see. Where am I? We'll be at Gracie's Tax Bar. We played our first round at 8:30, so sign up is at 8, and then we usually have another sign up at 9:30, and then start about 10 if I remember correctly. We skipped last month, so it'll be great to see all of you come out and be educated. So 2 game nights for you. from me and Freddy. Um, just a whole weekend of games. Um, One is bingo, which is really simple, but people make it not so simple, especially when they drink. And then we have sex trivia at Gracie's Text Bar, which starts at 8. Freddie will be in Austin the 21st through the 24th, so I'll have to figure that out if he'll be on, because I thought he was gonna be on tonight, but here we are. And then um, on the 24th, that Sunday, I will be at Stacy's at Melrose for Magic. And then Magic will be at Rainbows Fest on May 1st. So just so many opportunities for me to see your lovely, lovely face. And then on the 7th, I think it's the 7th. I don't want to tell lies. Hold on. On the 7th, I will be hosting. Oh, actually, I skipped a date. On the 26th, I will be at the 1 in 10 Chandler satellite location for a young adult story hour. And then on the 7th of May, I will be at the Chandler Public Library doing an event with David Boyles called The Art of Drag, where we're going to talk about the history of drag, talk about my own personal experience with drag and why I do it, and so much more. Yes, you can come get hugs. Yes. At and this is where I first met you, Shannon. I believe that was one of the first times I met you at the Rainbows Fest. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's what it was. I believe that's what it was. I could be wrong. Yes, and then we went into COVID. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You did? Oh my God, you should share it as we get ready for Rainbows Fest. Yes, and say that you should get hugs at Rainbows Fest. Yes. Okay. So, all that, and then um there'll be so much more. I look forward to booking guests. I haven't done it in a long time, but I will do my best and my darnest to get some guests on. I appreciate the 2 people that stayed on all night. I'm just kidding. Uh, this thing always tells me a wrong number, so I don't know until after I get off of here how many people watched. Um, I enjoyed you. I hope you enjoyed me, and hopefully Freddie will be back next week. I know that. Hopefully he's not traveling, because next week is what, the 20th. He might be traveling. You might be stuck with me. Oh no. Let's see. Uh, but we'll figure it out together. We'll figure it out together. This has been your Wednesday night conversation. Thank you for joining along in the conversation. Um, thank you all to watch who. Thank you all to who watch on the live stream, and those who watch on the replay, and those that listen on the podcast. We'll see you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. I have been Felicia Fefe Minor, and I will see you next week. Good night.
Promotional consideration for Let's Have a Fifi provided by Wigs of a Kind, the Burly Barber. Bone and Basil, as well as our patrons at Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Let's Have a Fefe to become a Fefe patron. Virtual tips accepted at paypal.me/Let's Have a Fefe. Subscribe to the Let's Have a Fefe podcast. You can listen on your favorite podcatcher. See you next week for your Wednesday night conversation. This has been Let's Have a Fefe.